is as fleet of foot as a wild gazelle.
Gazelle.
He is so fast.
So fast.
All right, welcome to the weekend at Church 520. A little bit of
The weekend report?
recap. Something.
We can't say weekend update. I think that's
We can.
weekend.
It's a recap
The
of what we covered.
Church 520 weekend report.
Anyway, now that we have that settled, so we started we continued in 2 Samuel.
Yes.
Because we started last week, and we had found out that David got word that Jonathan and Saul had been killed.
Yes.
There was a messenger that David said, nah, done with you.
Right.
And after that, he wrote a song. Then he went to Hebron, and the tribe of Judah made him king over Judah. And then we did find out that Saul's other son,
Yes.
is the king over all of Israel.
Sir Ishbosheth.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
But Judah was following David. Now,
Right.
we're going to continue this saga because we found out that David reigned for 7 years, right?
7.5.
7.5 years
I think is what it said.
in Judah, but Ishbosheth
Just
only 2, right? So there's going to be some twists and turns that we're going to have to find out and figure out as we're going through this, because obviously the road is not straight and or smooth at this point for Mr. David. But he is a king.
He is.
So with that, we kind of get a little bit of a war between the Israels,
Correct.
right?
Top and bottom.
Top and bottom. If you've seen a map and you know this era, David's in the bottom and the rest of Israel being on the top is where Ishbosheth is reigning. So they kind of come together. You'll get a recurrence of a character called Abner. And he was the essentially commander of the Israel army.
Right. Remember the one that put Ishbosheth as the king.
Yeah, he did the old coronation ceremony.
Yeah, it was like,
right?
you are next. So keep that in mind.
Yep. So they got him set in place, but now him and some of his guys from the tribe of Benjamin and some of David's servants went to a pool in what town?
Hebron. Nope, that's the whole Hebron. Ner.
Not even close.
I don't know what. Oh, Gibeon.
Yep. Ner Gibeon?
No, Abner's the son of Ner.
Yes.
Does Ab mean son of? For them? Abner, son of Ner?
You're asking a question I have no answer to.
Anyway, okay,
That's
sorry,
his name.
continue. Abner, son of Ner. They went to Gibeon, the pool of Gibeon.
It would be silly, though, if they said son of Ner, son of Ner. So, if that was his name.
Well, yeah, they would say Richard Johnson, which is John's son. How that came.
Yes, but that's not how it's anymore.
Right, but that was back then, not now.
Yes, but...
Anyway, Abner They were meeting at the pool of Gibeon. Well, Gibeon.
So it was some of the servants of David, not David.
Correct.
Right.
Oh, I don't think I said. Did I say David?
Well, I'm clarifying.
Oh,
Thank
you.
Gotta have clear, settings here.
There is a battle.
So they come to this pool outside of Gibeon, and essentially they line up on either side, and some guys go out and they start fighting, and they stab each other in the side, and it actually gets the name of the area with the sharp sword. Right? So, after that, obviously, Abner's side was losing because they start running away.
Right. Wasn't it Abner's side lost 19? No, Abner's...
We're not even there yet.
Oh, never mind. I won't tell you. Sorry.
You're jumping.
Oh, sorry.
So, anyway, Abner and his band of hooligans take off, right? And you've got three brothers, the Eshael, Joab, and Abishai, right?
Okay. Yeah.
These three brothers are part of the servants of David, and when Abner takes off, Mr. Ashael is as fleet of foot as a wild gazelle.
Gazelle.
He is so fast.
So
And obviously he was chasing after Abner with quite the intensity.
Yep.
Because it says that he wasn't turning to the left or to the right. He was just going right after him.
He definitely was laser focused.
And Abner notices and says, "Hey, chillax, dude. Better turn to the left or to the right, or,
You're gonna get injured.
Or if you don't, how could I face your brother?
Yeah.
If I put you down."
Yeah.
Right?
He was like, "Don't force my hand in this.
Yeah.
Because I know your brother."
But he did not turn to the left or to the right. He kept coming. So actually the butt end of Mr. Abner's spear went through his stomach and out his back.
Perma belly buttoned him.
Yeah, he was pierced.
But with the backside, not the sharp bit. That's a lot of force.
That is a lot of force.
Running up.
That is a lot of force. Now, it does say that both Abishai and Joab were also chasing after Abner. But it doesn't say how quick they were. So obviously they were lagging behind a little bit.
Right.
But anyway, they finally catch them on the hills, right? Outside the wilderness of Gibeon. And essentially, the servants of David are trying to hunt down the tribe of Benjamin, guys that are there, and Abner. And finally, Abner calls out and says, "How long does this need to go on?" Right? And Joab answers and says, "You know what? By morning it would have probably been done, but we can be done now." And they essentially call a truce and kind of go back to each their own place. What's really interesting is it says about both sides, Abner and his guys go back to where they came from, and it says they traveled all night long till they got there. Right? And then Joab and Abishai and those guys all gathered together, went to Bethlehem, which is kind of like in a roundabout way, like southeast of where they were, but they also had to come back southwest, back to Hebron. But they went to Bethlehem, buried Ashael, and then went to Hebron, again, traveling all night long, and got there at daybreak. So, after fighting all day and chasing some people, they decided, let's go on a few mile hike.
A few mile hike.
A few mile.
Just a couple.
Few. So, It's kind of really sad. But one thing that you do find out in the beginning of chapter 3, because that was all of the rest of chapter 2. In the beginning of chapter 3, we find out some very, very interesting news about the house of David and also the house of Saul. Do you remember what it was?
No.
One, David has got a lot of baby mamas.
You're right.
Because it covers all the different kids and all the different ladies that he has kids by.
Yes.
It also says that Saul's house is growing weaker and weaker, and that David's house is actually growing stronger and stronger.
Right.
Why do you think that is?
The family line is supposed to stop with Saul's sons. So if that's it, then
Right.
then Saul can't have any sons. Can he have daughters?
He could, but they wouldn't be in power.
They wouldn't carry on the family line.
Right.
So, I mean, just no sons. But yeah, so David keeps having sons and
Well, Saul's dead.
yeah, but Ishbosheth
Yeah.
hasn't been having any kids
That we know
sons
of.
that we know of.
But we know that God holds to his word. And if he says the line's going to stop, the line's going to stop.
Right.
So. But root cause, the reason that all of this is going on is because of Saul's sin and not taking care of the Amalekites in the manner in which God told him to.
Yeah.
Right. So, and then we get a little bit deeper into chapter 3.
Yeah, a lot happened this last weekend. A lot happened in each person's story.
Yeah, for sure. And Abner is back with Ishbosheth. And I don't know exactly what transpired, but we do see, hey, Saul's house getting weaker and weaker. We know that Abner is kind of strengthening himself within the within the area where he's at with Saul's house. And I think Ishbosheth felt a little threatened and a little less of a manly man, because what does he go and do? He goes and accuses Abner of taking his father's concubine.
Yeah.
And disgracing Saul. And how did Abner take it?
He did not take it very well.
Nope.
He was like,
didn't.
how dare you suggest that I would disgrace your father?
Yep.
I am switching sides.
Essentially, yes.
I'm going to go back David.
Well, yeah, because if you remember right, Abner was there when David was there in the first place. Right? And yeah, he's like, peace out, chicken sprout. I'm switching sides.
Yeah.
And one of the ways that we know he was super serious is not only did he declare it to Ishbosheth, but he also essentially drafted up a legal document with some messengers and sent it to David to see if he would accept him.
Yeah.
Right?
He's like, I'm coming.
And I'm very sorry. You jumped in the timeline about how many had died. And I was like, not yet. And then I guess when I was going through it, my brain's like, that's already been covered, and just went. So let's rewind a little bit.
Yeah.
To after Abner calls out and they reason, they have the treaty in the hills of the wilderness of Gibeon. Right. It gives a very staggering stat that you were trying to say. And that was what?
Abner only
Nope, the other way.
Abner only took 19.
Oh, yes, if that's the way you're wording it,
Yeah.
yes.
Abner was only able to take down 19, his
Plus.
side.
Plus.
And then the other side,
No, 19 plus Eshael. So total 20.
Total of 20. Well, yes, but that wasn't during the battle. Anyway.
No, but I'm just saying that's how it's worded.
Right, 19 plus Eshael. So the one that started it.
Mm-hmm.
And then 19 more. And then David's side took like 360.
Yep, 303 score.
Yeah, 303 score. So yeah, 360. That's a lot. Mm-hmm. So anyway.
Good odds, for sure.
Well, for one side.
Yeah. I mean, it's essentially 180 per person. It's 180 to 1 kill death ratio.
No. It wouldn't be 180. Mm-hmm. That would be only if there was 2. What? 2 times 180 is 360. It was 20.
They call it 18. Math, I can do it.
He's the mathy one, guys.
It's late in the day, man.
Anywho, we had breakfast casserole. Oh, wait, no, we still have to go through the thingies.
Yeah, sure do.
I was like, we didn't go through the applications yet.
We're all sorts of mixed up. Our train is on a spaghetti rail, that's for sure. Yeah. Anywho's
spaghetti rail, I've never heard that. That's funny.
I just made it up just now. Look at that. That's right off the noodle.
That's funny.
Anyway.
Okay, so back into.
Hopefully you're still with us, and let's go over some key applications that we talked about this weekend, going over this, right? Because it's a lot of history. It's a lot of showing what happened in the past, but you can see kind of how God is letting this time in history play out, but also how the people are reacting in it. And that one thing that you can see is that reasoning can change your life, right? When Abner calls out to reason with Joab in the wilderness of Gibeon, that really changes his life, right? Because now, instead of being with Ishbosheth and possibly dying on that hill, right, he goes back. Ishbosheth accuses him, and now he's actually trying to get with David, right? Kind of changes his course. Right. And we can see all throughout Scripture that God reasons with people. God uses reason to get them to come along and see his side. Right, we see that in Isaiah. It says that he reasons with his people. In John chapter 3, it's like a whole chapter of Nicodemus going to Jesus and them having this dialogue and conversation, and Jesus reasoning with Nicodemus, and we can see that he really kind of has a heart change, at least from what I can see on my end, because he actually uses reason when they're trying to get Jesus convicted, for one. And two, he also helps prepare his body for burial, and also gets the spices for the burial. So that to me says that reasoning helped change his life, right? Change his direction. Right. And the same goes with Paul and how he reasons with us in presenting the gospel that Jesus died, buried, and rose again on the third day according to the Scriptures.
Right. And that he was seen by people according to the Scriptures.
Yes. Yes. And that is found in 1 Corinthians 15. Right? And if we trust in that reasoning and have faith, then we will be saved. So therefore, changing our life. Right? Now, another thing that we can see in this is that there was a person that had unwavering pursuit of a goal, right?
Yeah. SIL.
And unfortunately for him, in this instance, it led to his demise. But you can see also other places within Scripture where people have had an unwavering pursuit on a good thing, right? And it was very beneficial. And not only that, but the Apostle Paul also talks about in Timothy about making sure to have that unwavering pursuit and continuing after knowing God and doing the things, walking worthy, right?
Yeah.
And just getting after it. So what's another a good key takeaway here? And the last one is need God, right?
Yeah.
We all need God, and all throughout Scripture, it talks about the human need for God. And in Psalms, it's a very commonly quoted verse in songs where it's, as the deer pants for the water, so my soul longs for thee, is how the song goes. But there is a need there. And not only that, we also have that need.
Right.
Even after salvation, we still have the need because God doesn't want us just to stay just this side of fire insurance, right?
Right.
He wants us to continue to grow, continue to look to Him, continue to know Him, and walk in the ways that He would have us because guess what? He created us for good works, which is also another thing that Scripture says.
Yeah.
So, and in that, we need to not get complacent after salvation. Say, no, I'm good.
Right.
Right. But to continue to realize the need and not get so prideful, right? Because it is very much a pride thing to where you get on the other side, like, nah, I'm good. Right. And also that you think you can just handle everything. And really you can't.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So those are the things that we covered and the key takeaways that we got from this weekend. We had some really good music, some new stuff, which was nice. And then we also had
Breakfast casserole.
breakfast casserole, which was super good.
Made breakfast for dinner.
We did have breakfast for dinner. Some breakfast casserole and some tots on the side. It was quite nice. So this week, again, we will continue down this path with David, and we will get to see his reaction to the covenant that Abner is trying to strike up with him.
Yeah.
So if you would, join us again next week, either here or you could join us in person.
Yeah.
Go ahead and comment down below if you would like to do that. One thing that we will be doing is meeting a little early because there's this little thing of Super Bowl happening. So we're going to meet earlier for that since we do meet in the evenings. And yeah, so subscribe, like, all that fun jazz, comment. Also, still, if you want to learn about something else, go ahead and comment below on that.
Yeah, if you have questions.
Or questions, for sure. Because I have questions. I'm sure you have questions about things. And that's what we're here for. We're studying, we're learning, we're answering questions, and just going after it.
Yeah.
So we'll talk to you later. Bye.